Next news, breaking news.
Got some breaking news right now. The walls are caving in on Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell. The House Ethics Committee has just launched a formal investigation into the California Democrat over horrifying allegations of sexual misconduct, including against his own staff members. And folks, it gets worse. Swalwell has now suspended his campaign for governor of California. 4 women have come forward. Victims are speaking out on camera, describing absolutely disgusting behavior. And here's what's making patriots furious across America. You see, Democrats knew about this the whole time. They endorsed him anyway. They protected him for years. So the question is this the final nail in the coffin for the man who was banging a Chinese spy? I'm going to tell you, though, why this matters to you and your family. You see, Eric Swalwell sits on the House Intelligence Committee. He has access to America's most sensitive secrets. This is the same man who was compromised by a Chinese spy named Fang Fang. And now we're learning he allegedly preyed on young women working under his supervision, women in their early 20s who just wanted to serve their country. One victim describes being instructed to perform sex acts in a parking lot. Another says she woke up naked and alone in his hotel room after saying no. You see, this isn't just about a corrupt congressman. This exposes the entire D.C. machine that protects predators as long as they vote the right way. Did you know that your tax dollars even funded a secret slush fund? $17 million to pay off sexual harassment and assault victims of members of Congress? They literally appropriated your money to cover up their sex crimes. You see, the swamp doesn't just tolerate this behavior, they enable it, they fund it, and then they hide it from you. And speaking of Washington insiders protecting their interests while leaving Americans vulnerable, there is breaking news on the resource independence front that you need to hear. The White House just announced over $30 billion to secure America's critical mineral supply chains. And they named a specific Alaskan project as a key strategic asset for U.S. mineral independence. Now, I've been to the Vizsla copper drilling site myself. I've seen it with my own eyes. What's happening right now is bigger than most people realize. President Trump just unveiled Project Vault, a $12 billion strategic minerals reserve designed to stockpile essential resources and keep America strong. While corrupt politicians like Swalwell were busy covering up scandals, President Trump has been working to make sure America never depends on China for critical minerals again. Vizsla Copper is positioned right at the center of this America First resource. You can find them trading in the United States under VCUFF and in Canada as VCU.V. And check out the exclusive briefing down below. This is the kind of investment in American strength that the establishment will never tell you about, but of course we will. Now let's get back to the Swalwell scandal, because what these victims are describing will absolutely shock you. See, here's what the mainstream media is desperately trying to bury. This wasn't just an open secret in Washington. Local journalist Stephen Tavares, who's covered Swalwell since his city council days, just admitted that Swalwell's behavior towards women was known by all levels of local government and the Alameda County Democrat Party since 2013. So think about that. For over a decade, Democrats at every level knew what kind of man Eric Swalwell was, and they endorsed him anyway. They fundraised for him. They put him on the Intelligence Committee. They protected a predator. And now we have this HRES 1100, roll call 83, a resolution that's been sponsored by Nancy Mace, was just introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives to force the public release of records related to a secret slut fund that Congress appropriated for their sexual harassment and race charges. Paid out $17 million. And of course, we have Eric Swalwell. Eric Swalwell, now he is working on damage control. And what does that damage control look like? I mean, this video that I'm going to play for you it's pretty embarrassing. It's pretty telling what he says in it. Oh, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. You see, the New York Times over the weekend, they just put out an article throwing him under the bus. We've also got CNN throwing him under the bus. And you see, when you've lost the establishment media, you know the fix is in. The fix is in because they want Swalwell out of the race. They wouldn't have just opened up the floodgates on this guy without orders from on high. I just recently saw a video that Mark Dice did on Swalwell. Go to his channel. Remarkable insight. Definitely influenced and gave me another perspective on this entire situation. I encourage you, go watch Mark Dice's latest take on the Swalwell revelations, because it makes perfect sense.
It's been said about me today through anonymous allegations, and I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly. These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened, and I will fight them with everything that I have. They also come on the eve of an election, where I have been the front-runner candidate for governor in California. I do not suggest to you in any way that I'm perfect or that I'm a saint. I have certainly made mistakes in judgment in my past, but those mistakes are between me and my wife. And to her, I apologize deeply for putting her in this position.
Yeah, and what kind of positions were you putting those women in? Yeah, hear it directly from me. These allegations are flat false, and I will fight them. But of course, now he is suspending his campaign. After Swalwell's defiant denial, don't miss who else is calling for his resignation. Let's see what we have here. This is the former staffers, statement from former staffers on Eric Swalwell. Let's see here.
What's been said about me today through anonymous allegations.
Let's just go to Nick Sortor. Just in over 50 former staffers of Swalwell have released a statement calling for him to resign. They also referred to certain allegations you see right there, the R word, against him, stating they're credible. Democrats have known about this for a year, yet they never spoke up until now. Well, it's because they need to get Swalwell out of the race. One of the four Swalwell victims speaking out describes how disgustingly vile that he was. And of course, this is on CNN. Remember, these narratives are not just released because, they're doing good journalism. No, it's because they got the green light to take him out of the race.
Junior staffer. She's speaking in shadow as she fears professional consequences.
It was in 2019. I was, again, driving him to an event. This was my job.
And you were 21 years old.
And I was 21 years old. We see some sort of parking lot, and he says to pull over. He pulls out his penis and instructs me to give him oral sex. And I started to. Again, I felt incredibly uncomfortable. And I stopped, and I said to him, this feels really uncomfortable, and anyone could see us right now. And he said to me, you're right. It's probably not good for a congressman to be caught with his pants down.
Swalwell calls her allegations false.
The allegations were false. She felt uncomfortable. Maybe it's because they were in a car. But nonetheless, I joke, but the second video now surfacing is Eric Swalwell, taken moments after the first video went viral. 4 women coming forward accusing him of sexual misconduct. His staff, both congressional office and gubernatorial campaign, have come out condemning this. Multiple voices condemning his actions. It's time to see what the ethics committee is doing about it. Let's see. This is the same clip here. Okay, here's the ethics committee. U.S. House Ethics Committee has initiated an investigation regarding Eric Swalwell in response to allegations of sexual misconduct. Here's a statement of the chairman and ranking member. Pursuant to Committee Rule 7, the chairman and ranking member of the Committee on Ethics determined to release the following statement. The committee, pursuant to Rule Committee 18, has begun an investigation and will gather additional information regarding allegations that Representative Eric Swalwell violated the Code of Official Conduct or any law, rule, regulation, or other applicable standard of conduct in the performance of his duties or the discharge of his responsibilities with respect to allegations that he may have engaged in sexual misconduct, including towards an employee working under his supervision. And all charged are innocent until proven guilty, but the court of public opinion is certainly stronger. Eric Swalwell suspends his candidacy for governor amid accusations of sexual misconduct. Bang, 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 bang. So it's all over for Eric Swalwell. The campaign being suspended, but the investigation is only beginning. House Ethics Committee launching the investigation. Here's more on that.
House Committee is now opening a formal investigation into California Congressman Eric Swalwell regarding allegations, quote, that he may have engaged in sexual misconduct, including towards an employee under his supervision. Swalwell dropped out of the race for governor of California last night due to those allegations.
Dropped out due to those allegations. Here we have this. This is from Curtis Hawkes. This is a screenshot. Stephen Tavares. I've covered Eric Swalwell since he was a member of the Dublin City Council shortly after being elected to Congress in 2013. His behavior towards women was known by all levels of our local government and the Alameda County Democrat Party. Do you know what you're actually admitting here? Stephen Miller is asking him. Well, I think I know exactly what's going on. This is Stephen's part of the cover-up too. I've covered him since he's a member, right? It was known to everybody, even Stephen. And Stephen decided that he wasn't going to tell the story. We need proof now. I thought in politics, all you need were accusations. Remember what they did to the Supreme Court? Yeah, of course. Meanwhile, the debate rages on Kavanaugh. That's what it was. Kavanaugh. Believe all women. Meanwhile, the debate rages on CNBC and CNN. CNN's Dana Bash defending Eric Swalwell. Well, of course, Dana Bash comes from a different branch of CNN. Like I showed you, we had the CNN interview with one of the victims, but now Dana Bash is running cover? Let's listen.
Let me just ask you about something I've heard you saying since Eric Swalwell, since the allegations came out that he is still denying. You have said that it's sickening that Democrats endorsed him when you allege this behavior was an open secret and they all knew about it. I don't, maybe you have, I haven't seen any proof that people knowing about allegations that he raped people. But that aside, as I mentioned, you got the endorsement of President Trump. He was, of course, found liable.
You haven't seen the allegations because you haven't looked, Dana. Maybe just log into X and type in Eric Swalwell, and you'll find a million hits.
In a civil suit of sexual abuse and bragged about grabbing women by the you-know-what.
Oh, come on. Really?
You're okay accepting that, but clearly upset about the allegations of
what about
Eric
President
Swalwell?
Trump?
Well, it's really the hypocrisy. I mean, the fact that it was an open secret about his behavior on Capitol Hill and the extent of it. We'll see where the allegations go. And there's many more accounts, I think, that are going to come forward from all the accounts that I've been hearing, including from many Democrat friends involved in politics in California. As to the president, look, that was all litigated many times, including in 2 general elections in America. And people came to their view about that. And I think the most important point is that actually that helps really get the energy that we need to get a big Republican turnout, as well as all the other support that we need to build to win a majority here in California. That's why I'm so honored to have his endorsement.
Yeah, he's got the endorsement, Dana. Here's Representative Andy Ogles on Eric Swalwell. Wow.
Look, the allegations of rape are, consenting adults is one thing, but when you're targeting, you're a predator and you're raping young women, let's hang them. Rapists should be hung, period. No questions. And so now I don't want the Secret Service to come. I'm not talking about Eric Swalwell. I'm not threatening a member of Congress. But the point is we got to say enough is enough. We can't allow this type of behavior. And I'll...
Just, for clarification's sake, you have to be convicted before you can have a capital punishment. And that's what he's saying for individuals who are convicted of those types of crimes. Now, here's the truth the establishment doesn't want you to understand. Eric Swalwell is not an anomaly. He's really just a product of the system. See, Washington created a literal slush fund to pay off victims and keep scandals quiet. Nancy Mace has introduced a resolution to expose these secret payouts. $17 million of your dollars spent covering up the crimes of the political class. And when victims finally come forward, What does CNN do? Dana Bash plays whataboutism, demanding proof that anyone knew. See, it's funny how the media never demanded proof when they were destroying conservatives with mere accusations. Double standard is the point. They protect their own while weaponizing allegations against anyone who threatens their power. See, Eric Swalwell dated a Chinese spy. He kept his security clearance. He allegedly assaulted young staffers and kept getting endorsed. You see, the swamp isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. You see, this is why we do what we do here at the Next News Network. The mainstream media will memory hold this story. By next week, they'll protect Swalwell just like they protected every other Democrat predator, but we won't let them. So share this video with everybody that you know. The American people deserve to see exactly who these so-called representatives really are. And since you made it to the end of the video, text raw feed to 844-840-4963. That's how we continue to maintain our line of communication when YouTube decides to suppress our videos and never send any notifications that you asked for. And drop a comment below. Tell me, do you think Eric Swalwell should be expelled from Congress? Yes or no? I want to hear from you. And if you want to support independent journalism and actually holds these people accountable, check out the Next News merch shop right below this video. Every purchase helps keep us fighting. Make sure you are subscribed and you do hit that notification bell because the establishment is working overtime to suppress channels like ours. I'm Gary Franchi for the Next News Network. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.